Welcome to the Love Sessions with Nori and Lily. I'm Nori, and my beautiful friend Lily is here.
Hi.
Hi, Lil. Yay.
Yay.
This is exciting, our first one.
It is exciting, and I'm loving the name, the Love Sessions.
Exactly.
Yes. So hold on. First, tell us what the inspiration for this was, because I love this idea.
Yeah, so the inspiration, especially for this first one, is to assist people to move into more of a place of self-love, especially right now in February when people may be looking to external people, places, or things to fulfill that feeling of love. Because when we first love ourselves and we fulfill ourselves with self-love, then everything that we're looking for actually comes to us.
That is so, so true. And you're right. Especially this time of year, there's a lot of that kind of looking outside of ourselves for that love and that kind of validation and all of that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great, great idea. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny because sometimes I ask people these questions and they're going to think they're trick questions, but they're not. Like, so Nori, what do you say when you're
Mhm.
cold?
I'm cold.
What do you say when you're hungry?
I'm hungry.
What do you say when you're happy?
I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's all about the I am, right?
The I
I,
am.
yeah. Nobody else can feel those things for you, right?
No.
I can be cold too, but then I'd be cold.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
So,
Right. So I am is bringing it back to us. I am brings us back to our power source.
yeah. And our source
And
of love and acceptance, right?
oh,
And even romance. It's all in the I
absolutely.
am. Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, you know I'm a big proponent of the I am statements. So you totally know that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's part of what we share today.
And a big thing that comes around like this time of year, of course, is the flowers and the candy, but the cards or the
Mhm.
love notes or the love
Yes,
letters, right? They've been around
yes.
forever. But how often do we write like love notes or love letters to ourselves?
And if I spent half of the time when I was younger writing love notes to myself instead of wondering if I was going to be getting a love note, um, I think I would have achieved this place of self-love a lot sooner.
Yeah,
So I think love notes should happen, self-love notes should be crafted more frequently. Absolutely.
me too. Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes it could be a little challenging, a little, weird thinking about like,
Mhm.
well, what am I supposed to write? I love me? That's so
Right.
simple. So I think in this verse, love sessions, I love that. I feel like I'm channeling Barry White when I'm saying that. The love sessions.
I like
Except I
it.
don't have that voice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's probably just as well.
Yeah, I know that would be interesting. But in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm saying it like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
So no, I agree with you because if I just said, especially, if I'm in a weird place and I go, okay, I love me, it's, I'm not feeling it. So how do we put our toe in the I love me pool so that, I can begin to make statements and write a love letter to myself that I really, really feel, not just go through the motions, something I really feel.
yeah. Well, I think a great place to start is just asking yourself some questions, or rather, let us ask you some questions. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to share
Okay.
some questions with our listeners
Okay.
and invite them to answer these questions on their own
Okay.
and see what they come up with. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah?
good.
Okay. So I'm going to start. I just have like a few questions. So I'm going to start. I think a good place is to go kind of back, go a little bit back in our history, and maybe think back to that very tender age when we were in high school, those teenage years, right? Ooh, right? Yeah. It's the face scrunching up like, oh gosh, yes. And maybe, our first love or our first crush or whatever. But thinking back to who we were, like who were you? Thinking back to high school and the you that you were in high school from the heart, what would you say to that person, to that teenager?
Boy. Hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe moving on a little bit, a little bit further in years, like when we were thinking about our first career or our first job, our first real job, what would you say to that you at that time that was making those choices? What would you say to that person?
So many more empowering things that I didn't know then, is what I would say,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Uh-huh.
What about when you were perhaps choosing your first spouse or your first big serious relationship, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that gets all of us, right? Right kind of in the pit of our
Absolutely.
stomach. Yeah.
Absolutely. Aw.
So think about what you would say to that person, that version of you, right? And then what about when you first became a parent, a mother or a father? And you know what? Pets count too.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
But
Yes, they do.
yeah, to that version of you that really first started taking responsibility for another
Yes.
life. Yeah. What would you
Yes. And the
say?
uncertainty. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. And then kind of moving forward a little bit more in your career and in life, and maybe like 5 years ago. Like, right? Just 5 years ago. Like, what would you say
Yes.
to that version of you, who you were 5 years ago?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I hope everybody is doing this, or if maybe everybody can re-listen to this with a piece of paper and a pen. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And
They
taking,
feel inspired.
yeah, inspired, that's right. Because taking from these questions that we're sharing is really finding out what's the best thing ever about you.
Oh, that's beautiful. What is the best thing about you?
Yeah.
I would ask, what is your worth? How many hearts have you touched? I mean, how many tears have you wiped away? Who were you strong for when they were weak? Who were you there for when they were sick? Whose hand did you hold when they were scared? Who did you tell they were beautiful when they couldn't see it? Who did you encourage when they couldn't see success waiting for them? Who did you remind that they are absolutely limitless in all the world?
Wow.
Would you take all that and give it to you right now? That's my question. That's my question to me.
Those
Think
are powerful.
about, right. Oh my goodness, it moves me just to, think about how powerful they are. Think about the beauty and the majesty that you are right now. Right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's create an I am statement. Just one little I am statement. If not a love letter, an I am statement. An I am statement that reflects the love that you are and that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
What is yours? What is yours?
What is yours? What is yours? Oh, beautiful. I really invite and encourage everyone to answer these questions with a loving, open heart for yourself and see what your I am statement is.
Well, I'm gonna go write mine right now. How about you?
I know, I'm feeling all mushy and ready to
Me
write too.
too. Okay. All right.
Okay, all right.
Until next time.
See you next time on the Love Sessions with Nori and Lily.
Yes. See you. Bye.
Bye bye.